The Secret Garden by Francis Burnett. The beginning of the story finds an 11-year-old Mary Lennox living in India with her wealthy mother and father. But the parents do not like the child and will have very little to do with her. She is raised by her nannies and her servants. An outbreak of cholera runs through the community where she is living. Everyone in the household is stricken down, except for Mary. The military officers tour the house and find the young child standing alone in her room. They send her to live with her maternal uncle, Archibald Craven. He owns a large estate named Misselthwaite Manor, where there is said to be over 100 rooms, all of which are locked. Archibald is known to be a miserable hunchback. His wife died 10 years previous, and he has been in a state of severe grief ever since. When Mary arrives at Misselthwaite, she meets a young servant named Martha Sowerby, who begins to care for the young girl and offer her companionship. Mary hears of a secret garden from Martha. This was the special place of the mistress Lily Craven, but after she died 10 years ago, her husband Archibald locked the door and buried the key deep in the dirt. This seems very interesting to Mary, and she becomes determined to find that secret garden. Misselthwaite Manor is located in Yorkshire, England, out in the moors which flow like a sea of heather. In the spring, they are covered with flowers. Bumblebees and butterflies dance across the miles of fragrant blooms. Mary begins to take exercise outside, running in the moors and down the paths of the garden. Martha's mother, Susan Sowerby, buys Mary a jump rope. Mary soon excels in jumping for long periods of time in the fresh air. She becomes increasingly plump and healthy. She meets a gardener named Ben Weatherstaff, and he introduces her to his friend Robin Redbreast. She sees how the robin communicates with Mr. Weatherstaff, and she decides that she likes the robin too. She decides that she likes a few people now, which is something that she has never felt before. Mary learns of a young boy named Dickon. He is the brother of Martha Sowerby and is known to be the angel of the moor, the Yorkshire angel. People say that he can charm animals the way snake charmers charm snakes in India. He seems to be able to talk and communicate with the animals. And it is also said by many what a fine lad he is. One day, while Mary is playing in the garden, thinking that if she looks very hard she will find the door to the secret garden, Robin Redbreast appears. He begins hopping about and whistling his beautiful tune. He hops over to a pile of dirt. Mary goes to examine what the bird is trying to show her, and right there in the freshly shoveled dirt is a large brass key. "Oh, it must be the key to the secret garden," Mary exclaims. "Now if I can only find the door." With this, the robin flies over to a section of the garden wall, close to the branch of the apple tree which hangs over from the other side. The garden wall is covered in a thick carpet of ivy. Mary walks to where the bird is gesturing, and she pushes away the ivy. It flings aside like a curtain, and she's able to step inside. There she finds a beautiful wooden door. The brass key fits nicely in the lock. So Mary turns it, and click. The lock tumbles and the door slowly swings open. Now the fabulous, tangled, hidden, neglected garden of Archibald Craven's late wife Lily has been found. Mary frequently hears the sound of a young child crying and wailing in the house. At Misselthwaite, the head servant is named Mrs. Medlock, and since Archibald is rarely home, Mrs. Medlock is in charge of the household. She has forbidden Mary to pursue the distressed cries that she hears in the night. But one evening, Mary takes her candlestick and follows the sounds down the dark corridors. She comes to the door which she has previously found during her exploration of the mysterious house. It is hidden behind a rug hanging on the wall. She pushes aside the rug and enters the room to find a grand, elegant decor and a young boy with large eyes and tousled hair laying on his bed, crying. The children begin to speak. He thinks she's a ghost at first, but soon they are having a good conversation. They find out that they're cousins and they're just about the same age. Colin is 12 years old. The adults in the house have confined the boy to the bed for the rest of his life, saying that he will surely be a cripple and die soon. His mother died in childbirth, and Archibald Craven never has forgiven the child. Mary tells her cousin Colin about Dickon, and Colin wants very badly to meet him, and he wants to meet all the animals. Mary makes the arrangements, and the day comes when Dickon comes to visit. There's a clomp, clomp, clomp of loud boots coming down the hall, and the call of caw, caw. Dickon enters the room with a newborn lamb in his arms. At his feet are two squirrels named Nut and Shell as they scamper about. And on the shoulder, a shiny black crow named Soot is announcing their arrival. Dickon goes to Colin's bedside, says hello politely, and places the lamb in Colin's arms. He then reaches into his satchel and pulls out a milk bottle, allowing Colin to feed the newborn lamb. The children then proceed to have a very nice afternoon together. They make plans to visit the secret garden with Colin. Soon that day comes, and Mary and Dickon bring Colin out in his wheelchair. They creep around the corner and go under the curtain of ivy into the door to see his mother's secret garden. It is a wild menagerie of rose bushes, flowers, and fruit trees, all of which are in bloom for the spring. Mary and Dickon have spent many hours digging in the dirt, planting seeds, extracting weeds, and just nurturing the garden. Now it is a feast for the eyes. The children enjoy themselves so much in the garden that day after day they continue to go there. They work with the tools which Mary has purchased and find joy working with the earth and watching the trees and the plants grow. They play happily and eat their lunches out in the fresh air. The cousins, Mary and Colin, continue to grow healthier and stronger. One day, Colin is able to stand up out of his wheelchair and walk on his own. Soon, he too is able to run the garden paths. Archibald Craven arrives at Misselthwaite, back from his travels, and wanders out into the garden looking for his son Colin. When he left, he thought of Colin as a bedridden cripple, and now the servants tell him that the child is outdoors playing with his friends. Archibald has had a dream where his late wife says, "Look in my garden, and you will find me there." He finds the door to the secret garden, opens it, and walks in. Colin is able to run to him and show him how strong he is. There is a reunion of the father and the son in the mother's garden.